Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Everything and More Etc. podcast. We are your hosts. I'm Adam, and he's...
This time to podcast.
You're this time to podcast?
I'm Jake, but
You're Jake, okay. That's good. I want to... Because we have changed the microphone setup, which I think will benefit Jake because he can move around a little bit more, and I can also move around a little bit more.
But it's kind of tangled.
Mine's more tangled than yours.
You can untangle it if you want to. Oh my god.
Maybe not right now.
My thing on the Focusrite device is like really loud.
Yeah, because you're talking like...
Alright, sorry.
You're going like this.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're
sorry
learning.
Guys, I'm too...
We're learning as we go.
I'm used to doing that.
He's beatboxing, yeah. I mean, he does that in beatboxing. Don't beatbox right now. All right, so...
I want to take my loop station at some point.
Now that we have been distracted, as is usual with us, I don't know if standing up is a good idea or sitting down. I don't know. This episode is we're going to talk about the Transformers.
More than meets the eye.
Yeah, generally the franchise, but obviously we didn't watch all Transformers content because I think you could make several podcast series and episodes about each particular series, because there's at least, I think, 25 different animated series, and then there's the live action series. So what we did is we chose three kind of random, not really random, but three Transformer things to watch and talk about. So do you remember what we watched?
I do. We watched Transformers original series, and then we watched. I do have the microphone.
No. I'm saying don't cover it.
Then we watched Transformers Prime,
Mm-hmm.
and then we watched the Transformers movie live action.
Yeah, so that's called The Transformers. The Transformers movie we also watched, but he was pretty distracted about it, and he was doing something else and I was watching it, but it is great. So I was doing a bit of research about the
Were you?
Transformers, yeah, because I wanted to have something interesting to say rather than just talk about our opinions, but there isn't very much to say. The Transformers were based on a...
Whack the microphone all I want.
Don't whack the mic. Don't whack the mic. Like, I'm trying to make a point, and you always whack it when I'm trying to think, and that's difficult for me to do two things at once, So, yeah. So they were based on two different toy lines from Japan. I think one was called Diacron, and the other one was called Don't Cross the Wires, man. Actually, I have it here. I don't have notes, but one was called... Yeah, one was called Microman, and the other one was called Diaclone. And basically, these were toys that were in Japan, and they were very popular, and the rights to those toys were bought by Hasbro, and Hasbro wanted to create a cartoon to sell toys. Of course.
Capitalism.
Yeah, capitalism. And that was basically my childhood, cartoons to sell toys. Like Voltron, Transformers, G.I. Joe, all of that stuff. So, what would be your reaction to the original Generation 1, it's called? The original series.
I don't know. The animation was similar to Thundercats, but it was definitely better because I wasn't bored.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, honestly, the movie was more boring.
the movie was more boring. So now we can't hear you. I think you're
What do you mean I can?
going like this.
No, you can hear me. See?
Now.
Yeah. When I do that,
Yeah,
also
but,
you
but
can
go like
hear
this
me.
and watch.
Yeah, you can still hear me. See those little dots?
But it's so quiet.
Well,
We want
do
the-
you want them to hear me like this?
I want the level to be normal because I have to normalize it anyway.
Well, you don't.
No, you don't. It doesn't have to be like we turn the volume up and then down and up and down, to listen to us. It shouldn't be like that. And it's easier if it's like, you can talk into the microphone and be heard when you're making your very valid and interesting points. So you thought it was more... Yeah, so the animation is similar to Thundercats because for the first 2 seasons it was done by this.
Oh, sorry, the computer that we were recording on, for a second, the X button was red and the mouse was like turning into the circle thing, but then it stopped when I said, oh no, and now you can see it.
Okay, weird.
And like I was worried that it wasn't recording.
Yeah, I think we should call out this podcast the Easily Distracted Podcast because we're both easily distracted.
Possibly.
Yeah, so the animation is the same as the Thundercats for the Generation 1. Well, maybe we could talk a bit about the story of the Transformers because that's pretty important across all franchises, all of the different series. So, what is the basic story of the Transformers?
The basic story of the Transformers. Everyone knows the basic story of the Transformers.
Perhaps not. Like, maybe they're listening to this and they've never watched the Transformers.
Who hasn't watched the Transformers?
Someone, I'm sure. It's unbelievable for me too, but somebody, I'm sure.
The Transformers, they're on a planet called Cybertron, and they're with war with other Transformers called the Decepticons, and they're the Autobots. And then they fight, and then they go to Earth, and then they're there for like a bunch of years.
4 million in the Generation 1 cartoon.
Yeah, and then they come back somehow, and then there's war on Earth.
Yeah, so like a lot of our series, Thundercats and Voltron, and Star versus the Unit Forces of Evil. No? Yes? Is that the title? Star versus the Forces of Evil?
Yeah, that's the right title.
There's genocide involved. When? Because basically this war between the Autobots and the Decepticons destroys Cybertron. So that's why they leave the planet, is because their war destroyed it. And then I really liked this show when I was younger, but obviously I didn't think too hard about it because the more you think about it, it's crazy. Because you have this alien species that is warring amongst itself, and it's warring so bad that it destroys the entire planet, and then they flee from that. They like go into space and they're running away from their planet, much like Superman, although Superman, his planet was just destroyed.
Yeah.
Not by war. But so they land on Earth, and the first thing that they do when they wake up is basically plot how to kill each other.
Yeah.
So, and then humans are like, well, the Autobots are the good guys because they said they were the good guys, but they're having this war that's just killing people. Like, if I was a person in that universe, well, of course...
You would think that the Decepticons were the good guys?
No, maybe not good guys, but they're both bad. You know, although I think that
But the Autobots aren't trying to kill people.
Yeah, but if they were really... So, the Decepticons are trying to kill the Autobots. And the Autobots are trying to stop the Decepticons. If they really cared about people, they would just leave Earth. And then the Decepticons would follow them because the Decepticons want to kill them. Right?
But they want to go back to Cybertron to continue their battle, but they can't.
Yeah, and that's that's another thing. So in the, I think it's different in every series, but like in the first generation, Megatron's big plan is to steal the energy of Earth, and I'm not sure how that works, but basically they have these cubes that they can put any kind of human energy in, and it becomes energon, and then they can use those cubes as fuel for their ship that they build. So Megatron is stealing all of this energy, and he gets it from some very weird places like rubies. But okay, so he gets it from rubies, and then Megatron and Optimus and the GoBots and the Decepticons are fighting each other, and then so Optimus makes friends with the humans, and he says, "Jake, don't do that, please. People are trying to listen to my words." My words of wisdom here. And now I'm distracted. ASMR. I had a point.
I'm doing ASMR.
So he goes to the people and he says, "Hey, I need this energy." So Optimus basically does the same thing, except because he asked nicely, he gets all the energy from the people. So Optimus is just as bad as Megatron, but he's more manipulative, I would say. Cough. Yeah. Also in the first generation, there's lots of like dramatic music all the time that I didn't notice when I was a child, but it's like everything is dramatic. Like they're driving down the street. They're saying hello. But of course they never die because that was like it was already bad enough that they had a cartoon on TV that was just about selling toys. They didn't want there to be a lot of violence, so there is a lot of violence, but their aim is just really, really bad.
Yeah. Bad aim.
Yeah, and you had a problem with one particular weapon of theirs, right?
Yeah, like there's this one transformer that turns into a gun. A gun.
And why did you have a problem with that?
Because all of them have guns built into them, and they can transform into something cool or fun. But transforming into a gun is completely impractical. You can shoot one bullet and then you fall on the ground and you can just get stomped on and die.
Yeah, you need to be used by other things. So, yeah, you had another problem though with another weapon that they use.
Like what?
The circle of fire?
Alright. Because in the first episode they shot out like a circle that covers them, that covers the Transformers. It covered everything with fire, so there's like a circle of fire around them, but all of them have jetpacks, so they can just fly out.
Yeah, it's kind of strange how they all can fly, at least in the Generation 1. They all have the ability to fly somehow, but some of them turn into spaceships when they're on Cybertron, and then they eventually turn into like jets from the 80s, so like F-16s and stuff. That's the other thing. Well, they can turn into anything that they want, but they seem to like the first thing that they, well, it's this weird thing because my thoughts are not organized, but basically when they're on Earth, and they've been there for 4 million years, and then I don't remember what happens to wake them up, but something wakes the Decepticons up, and they have this little scanning thing on the ship that will find the technology that they can like scan to like transform into. But it was really strange because like
I think that thing woke them up.
Maybe it did. Maybe it woke up and then it woke them up. So my point is that they stay the same thing. Like they don't change because there's these two characters. I forgot what the Decepticon is called, but the Autobot is called Mirage, and he can look like anything. But they can already look like anything. So why not look like anything? Why do you always have to be a gun or a tank or a jet or, wouldn't it be better if one day you were a toaster and the next day you were a train?
I don't know, maybe the guy that transforms into a gun would like to be a toaster. Equally useless.
What? Toaster's not useless. You can make toast.
You can't eat it. And also you're a robot.
I mean, he could have human friends. I mean, not with his personality, but... Yeah. So then, like... Maybe I'm thinking too much into a child's cartoon from the... Well, that's a weird notification, because I got like a WhatsApp notification from yesterday on my computer. She says it's great that your math went well, by the way.
Yeah. I read the notifications.
Yes.
Great.
So, yeah, like, why would they assume that there's technology on this planet where they've been sleeping for 4 million years? Why wouldn't...
Because the thing scanned for technology and it saw technology.
But there's also these things which will come... Well, in this series, there are dinosaur transformers, right? There are transformers that transform into dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And in another series called Beast Wars, the transformers are based on animals. They transform into animals. So why wouldn't they do that? That seems more logical, that there might be animals around than there are technology. So strange. Yeah, I can't think of anything else I want to complain about the first generation. Or maybe just one kind of thing that I noticed is that Optimus Prime is basically the leader, and he's given these sort of like leadership lines, and over time he's become more and more leader-like. But in the beginning, he's really a bit of a jerk. He's like, I'm gonna kill you, Megatron. Da 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 da. You know.
He always. What do you mean?
Like, he says, I forget the specific lines, but he says things that he wouldn't say today as the character.
What? No, he doesn't.
Like, he's mean, and he says something like, you always do that. Like, he's critical of his workers.
No, he's not.
And Jake turned off his mic before he wanted to make that point. I think he is.
Because I wanted to cough off. But I guess you'd hear it anyway because that microphone is off.
Yeah, but quieter. That's true. Yeah. So. Okay. Well, yeah, we heard that even if the microphone was off. Yeah. So.
I guess I could have made that point anyway because you can still hear me, even though my microphone is off.
Barely though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk over here and try not to knock anything over.
Okay.
Yeah, so what did you think about, because I think we've talked all about Generation 1. I think a lot of people still like it for the nostalgia, but I don't think like people would go back and watch the whole thing because there's 4 years, four seasons, and I think if you want the best kind of Generation 1 thing, just watch the animated movie from 1986 where they kill Optimus. It's really good. I mean, it's not the best movie, but it's like the best Transformers movie.
I think
I would
Bumblebee
say.
swears.
Oh, you remember? I don't think it was Bumblebee, but yeah. So they have this movie where it's for kids, and they do 2 crazy things. I'm not sure how much you remember of it, but they do 2 crazy things which were like super controversial at the time. One, the Optimus Prime dies, and because finally the Decepticons learn how to aim, so Megatron kills him, and so he turns gray, and it's pretty clear he's dead. And apparently, fun fact, how many times do you think Optimus Prime has died over the course of the entire franchise?
In every show?
Yeah, like including every show.
However many shows there are.
Maybe. That's like 25 times, yeah. So this was the first time, and it was really traumatic because, you know, it was like a movie, and so kids were going to the cinema to watch the movie. Like, it would be like going to the Minecraft movie and finding out Steve dies.
But we didn't even know Steve because he's a new character.
Well, what's the character that Jack plays? Jack
Well,
Black.
Steve, but Steve's doesn't really have a...
Isn't Steve the character you play in Minecraft?
Yeah, but Steve is just a skin that you get. He doesn't have any story.
So you would feel... Okay, yeah, so it's a bit different because there was story, like he's the hero, he's the leader, he's the great guy of the Transformers, and yeah, he was like brutally murdered in front of the eyes of many children. And I think they were surprised for 2 reasons. They were surprised that he died and didn't come back at the end of the movie because he's clearly dead in the movie. And also they were surprised that the Decepticons could finally shoot something and it died. They were like, what? We've been watching this for 2 years and they haven't hit anything yet. So yeah.
I am Steve.
Yeah, that was...
As a child, I yearned for the mines.
Jacob, could we
Chicken
not?
jockey.
Could we not, please?
This is a crafting table.
And that will be completely irrelevant in like a year, probably. All of those things.
Maybe, unless the second movie comes out.
Or unless this movie is such like
Flint and steel.
such a big moment for your generation that you'll be talking about it with your kid on the second generation of this podcast.
On the second generation of this podcast.
Oh, that would be crazy.
The Nether.
Yeah, but anyway, the other thing that happened in that movie is that one character, I'm not sure if it's Bumblebee or not, swears. And it's like completely random because Optimus Prime is not the only character that dies. All of the like original characters kind of die because they wanted to make new toys. So all of the original characters are dying. And then after about 20 so of these deaths, it's a really brutal movie for kids. Then some character just goes, I don't think I will say the word that he says, but he does swear. And then it's completely random because Jake wasn't even paying attention to the movie, and then the character swore, and he was like, what was that? Like, that's strange. Yeah. But yeah, it has better animation because it's a movie. The story is better. So I think that's the best Generation 1. So what about... And I was trying to find what people considers the best Transformers series. So, of course, on the internet, there's many, many different opinions. But like Amazon, Transformers Prime was like one that people thought. So that's the one that I picked to watch. Also, so what did you think about that one?
About Transformers
Prime.
Oh no!
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen. Can you still hear me? Yes.
Yes, you can. It didn't unplug, but that's not good.
No, we dropped the...
Focusrite device.
That's not good.
I don't think
You
it's
should-
called a Focusrite device.
It's called a Focusrite. It's spelled on the thing.
Yeah, but isn't it called something else and that's just the brand name?
Well, if they're familiar with the thing, they'll know what a Focusrite device is.
Okay. I think that distraction was on both of us. So,
We're too far away. I'm like lying down.
well, I mean, you should be comfortable when you're podcasting, right? Like, I think that's rule number one about podcasting: comfort.
About- I thought about podcasting, but no, it's rule number one about podcasting: comfort.
Yeah. So what did you think about? I keep wanting to say Amazon Prime, but it's not. It's Transformers Prime.
Why do you want to say Amazon Prime?
It makes more sense.
What? What?
I don't know. Marketing, capitalism, consumerism. Anyway, what did you think about Transformers Prime?
It was a show. No, I think it was good. I don't know. I think it was just a show for kids with Transformers. That's my opinion.
Wouldn't that be Rescue Bots?
What? Rescue Bots don't have Transformers.
Rescue Bots are Transformers.
What?
Yeah. But, so, I think Transformer Prime was created for, like, people maybe a bit younger than you. Maybe I can pause it. So, yeah, Transformers Prime is for people who are a bit younger than you, and then Rescue Bots is for people, kids, basically, like 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, but it's Transformers. There's even, like, because I think we watched it, and you had this Transformer
Yeah,
helicopter that was from Rescue Bots. Yeah, so I think the writing was a lot better. There was actually funny jokes in Transformers Prime. Do you remember?
I remember. Can you build a small intestine?
Yeah, because there's a character, RC, who was the first girl Transformer, and she debuted in the movie, the animated movie. But so she's been a character for a long time, but she transforms into a motorcycle, and then there's this boy character, because, well, we'll talk about that in a moment, but there's like a boy character, and he rides around on the motorcycle version of her, and his science project, I guess, is to build a motorcycle, which is really crazy in high school, but he's building a motorcycle, and he turns to her, and he's like, how do I make this? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, but you turn into a motorcycle, how can't you know? And she's like, you're a human being, build me in a small intestine. So that was pretty funny. And generally the plots are better, because I guess there is like an overarching thing, but the episodes that we watched were like, I don't remember all of them, but one of them was, there was these tiny creatures called...
These.
Yeah, you can see that, right?
Yeah, you can see that.
Well, I don't know what they were called, but they were little metallic transformer things that eat metal, and living metal especially. So the
Why don't they eat themselves?
Good question. But yeah, basically they're like parasites for the Transformers, and so the whole episode is the humans trying to fight these parasites because they're immune, because they're not made out of metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you could tell me about how you feel about their living situation. I mean, the humans.
I'm wondering if the Transformers have human rights.
Yeah, explain.
Because they're the kids' legal guardians.
Yeah. So I think in the first episodes they say that the parents have died and that's why the Transformers are their legal guardians. But it is really weird because to be a legal guardian, you have to prove that you can take care of the children. And wouldn't they be better in any human home? Right?
Maybe they're great guardians.
Well, I'm sure they are. Like, if you had a giant robot to protect you, that's great. But then these giant robots are basically in a war with other giant robots. So you'd be better with somebody who had no involvement with the giant robots, right?
Yeah, but maybe their parents had involvement with the giant robots, and they like made the robots their, how's that called? Because you can make your friend someone that will take care of your kids when you die.
Yeah, you appointed them your guardians, yeah. Is your mic on? I just wondering. Oh, okay. They appointed them as their guardians. Maybe, but it is a weird situation. And I think
Because we didn't watch the first 6 miniseries episodes, which we should have.
well, I mean, honestly, if we wanted to give Transformers, the whole franchise, a fair rating, we should have watched everything. And I don't know. I don't think I have that much time left in my life to watch all of Transformers media and read the comics and play with all the toys. Maybe play with all the toys, yes. Yes, I would be completely down with that.
Okay.
So, yeah, I liked it. I think it had better writing and better character development. But I think that they looked horrible, though, the Transformers.
They didn't look horrible.
I get what they're going for because they don't want, like, for example, Starscream to look like a literal jet anymore because those jets, they don't even fly, I think. They're really old, the jets that he transformed in the original cartoon. But his face looks really weird, and Megatron looks bad. You know, like, it's real. Maybe, I don't know. I think maybe the problem is, like, I have an image. Did you ever study or have you ever talked about Plato in your classes?
I don't know what that is.
The philosopher, Plato, the Greek philosopher.
Maybe.
So basically,
Is he the guy that said, I know that I don't know anything or something like that?
no, that was Descartes. But so Plato's thing was that there are these ideals in nature, and not in nature, but like there's, so you take a tree.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the universe is the ideal tree that all other trees are reflections of. And so that's like the Platonic ideal. So everything is from that. This is why there's so many problems in life, because not everything is as perfect as this ideal version is. So in my mind, I think I have an ideal version of what each of those characters are supposed to look like. Like, I think that Starscream is supposed to look like the jet guy, and I think that Optimus is supposed to look like the truck.
But he does look like the truck.
No, but like the truck. Like, this should look like a truck. These should be his legs. These should be his
that's
arms.
how he looked like.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about the.
I don't remember. That was like, we watched that like 8 hours ago.
I mean, you did say that he looked like a truck and that I was wrong. So, but I think it's just what I feel that he looks like. It would be like if they did a reboot of Phineas and Ferb and their heads weren't triangles. You know, wouldn't that be weird for you?
They wouldn't do that.
Oh, they would do that for sure.
No, then Povenmire wouldn't do that.
He would.
No, he keeps making continuations or movies or some collaborations.
Or maybe
Phineas and Ferb isn't dead yet.
when somebody buys the rights to Phineas and Ferb, I
He
don't.
wouldn't sell the rights of Phineas and Ferb to someone.
Why wouldn't he?
It's his favorite show that he made.
I think you're about to, maybe not right now, but I think on the future podcast, you're gonna.
Unless Disney sells them to something because they own the rights.
Oh, they own it, so who else would buy it? But there is a possibility that in the future, for your children, they reboot Phineas and Ferb and they give them like square heads. And so that's how I feel about changing the character design.
Only Phineas has a triangle head,
What does the other one have?
a rectangle head.
Okay, so they switched them around
Why would they do that?
to make it edgy, entertaining. I don't know.
What? Like,
Yeah, so
this is a horrible comparison.
so maybe. Yeah, but I liked I liked it. I think it was fun, and I think this is like the first show where, because I don't know why, but it's the first show that it kind of spans our generations, right? So the Generation 1 cartoon started when I was a kid, and then it just kept on going until now. It's still going. Like, you went to see Transformers 1 this year, the movie?
Yeah, this year?
I think it was this year.
It was 2023 or 24? Honestly, I don't know anymore.
Oh, maybe last year, not this year, last year.
Maybe 2024. I don't know. I liked it and I heard it was good, and I think that calling something that isn't the first version of the thing one isn't a very good move, but it is a prequel.
Yeah, I didn't see that, but I guess it goes into why Optimus and Megatron don't like each other.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but it's also strange because I remember growing up, and I think we have time to talk about it because it's our podcast. It can be as long as we want. So, toys. So
Toys.
this whole thing was all about selling toys, and as we mentioned, Jake had this. He had a lot of Transformers toys. Actually, he had the helicopter thing that we mentioned.
But that's a rescue bot.
Still Transformers. You also had Sideswipe,
I did have Sideswipe.
and you had multiple versions of Bumblebee.
Yeah, I remember one Bumblebee, then I had Dinosaur Bumblebee, and I don't remember anymore.
Maybe those two. And then you had a yellow one. I'm not sure if that was Bumblebee
That's
or...
probably Bumblebee because he's yellow.
Well, there's another car character which is not Bumblebee, which is yellow.
But what yellow? I don't remember this toy.
It was like Sideswipe, but it was yellow.
Maybe it was a yellow version of Sideswipe.
No, because I think Sideswipe, the car was more like this, if you know what I mean. I'm making like an angle. I think it was more like a Lamborghini kind of car rather than... Because yeah, because Sideswipe I think has more curves. But yeah. I had Transformer toys also.
I also had a gray version of Sideswipe, I think.
Okay.
Or something like that. I had a different version of Sideswipe.
Yeah, I had Transformer toys, but growing up, we were too poor to afford the ones that came out in the store, because the Optimus Prime one was like super expensive. It was like $100 back in 1986 or something. So that was probably like $300 now. So
That's a lot of dollars.
it is. So what my mom would do is that she would go to yard sales and she would buy Transformers and also GoBots because she didn't know what the difference was. That's an interesting story as well about the GoBots, but so basically GoBots were people who became robots, and Transformers are just robots with souls, I guess. So I had this Transformer from the movie and I forgot. I looked it up recently because I was curious what it was called, but I forgot the name of it. But it basically transformed into this little spaceship, and then I think that was it. Actually, I had a rock. So there was also GoBots that turned into rocks.
What?
Yeah, they thought that would be really.
That's less practical than a gun.
Yeah, but I thought it was cool. He was this little guy who could make into a rock. That was pretty cool. I think I had another one, but I don't remember. But yeah,
Autobots rock.
Autobots rock,
Autobots rock out.
roll out,
Rock out.
rock out, rock and or roll out.
Rock out.
Well, it's possible because eventually the company that owns Transformers bought GoBots, so they're in the same universe now. So there could be a future where Optimus says, "Autobots roll and or rock out." Yeah. Although I would love an Optimus Prime toy now, but like the original ones. But those are probably like way more expensive than they are now. They were then.
Yeah.
But of course, they have so many more toys. Because I think the problem, maybe not problem, because when I was a lad, way back when
I was a lad.
they sold millions of these toys, right? But now I think that they sell like tens of millions of these toys, so they're cheaper.
Yeah.
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 What did you think about the relationship between Starscream and Megatron?
I did not think it was an old married couple, by the way.
Because Starscream is famously trying to be the leader of the Decepticons, and he flat out tells Megatron many, many times that he's going to replace him. And then Megatron finally shoots him in the arm, and in the original series. And I'm not sure if that's just because he has bad aim or he didn't really want to kill him. Probably the bad aim thing. But yeah, they talk like a married couple, and he doesn't believe me. An old married couple. Because it's like, Starscream, you imbecile! How could you shoot that thing at that other thing, you moronic, debilitating mass of parts?
It's more like a toxic relation.
Yeah, most old couples are toxic relationships. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
You fool! How could you do that?
How could you do that?
You absolute foolish piece of metallic junk.
Okay. I want to see. Oh yeah. So, also kind of fun in this whole like 25 series or whatever is that because they're animated or they're CGI, the same actors have been voicing Megatron and Optimus Prime for like years. So this here is the voice of Megatron.
Doesn't look so.
Optimus Prime. And who, I don't remember which one is Megatron. But one of them is Megatron.
Isn't it the same guy?
No, like they're different actors. But they both have they're very dramatic about everything. Like Megatron.
You imbecile.
Yes. But he'll also have like an evil laugh. Maybe you could do the evil laugh. Yeah. So Optimus is very like, Autobots, great leadership comes with great responsibility. and we cannot harm the humans even though we have brought our alien war to their planet and have murdered or accidentally killed millions of them. I mean,
Yeah.
he doesn't say that exact thing, but that's his voice. Very, very, very charismatic and stuff.
You said that like you were Uncle Ben, but you were doing a different voice.
Yeah,
Because you said with great leadership comes great responsibility, Peter.
And may the force be with you,
May the force be.
and to boldly go where no man ever has gone before.
What character are you?
I don't know. It's a joke about people don't know anything about science fiction. Yeah, we have saved the worst for last, though, because we've talked mostly about everything you can talk about with the the Transformers franchise, except for the elephant in the room, which is the live action remake version of Transformers.
No way.
So you briefly mentioned your feelings about it before. How could you? What did you think about that movie?
It was too boring. They were fighting for an hour.
Probably more than an hour.
I just wanted to go to sleep. But I have gotten to sleep, and now we're here in the morning.
The morning after.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to watch a different movie for
What?
this podcast because I watched that movie, the one that we watched yesterday, and I remember I did not like it. I did not like it at all, and I didn't remember much of the movie, so I couldn't articulate why I didn't like it. But I think it would have been a good decision not to watch that movie. Although the one that I wanted to watch, I think it's The Age of Extinction with the Dinobots, has worse ratings than the one we watched, so maybe it was better that we watched that one. I don't know.
I know.
But it's so weird.
Weird.
The characters don't look anything like they're supposed to look like. Like Megatron looks like a pile of he's just a silver blob basically, and he's supposed to be the evil leader of the Decepticons. And Optimus Prime's face looks very strange because I know what they were going for. They were going for, they're robots, so they should look like super mechanical. But when he talks, his face looks weird, like he has some kind of weird robo disease.
What?
He looks like he has a weird robo disease.
What?
He looks like he
What?
has a weird robo
What?
disease.
What? What?
He looks like
What?
he has a
What?
weird...
What?
Yeah.
What?
But Bumblebee, maybe there's problems with his character design as well, but the character is actually pretty interesting, and that's why they spun him off and they gave him his own movie, which is the highest rated movie of the live action series, which we also could have watched and would have been more entertaining than this one. But oh well. No regrets in podcasting. No regrets in podcasting.
Never give up. Never back down.
No victory without
Sacrifice.
kumquats.
Kumquats. What? What are those?
Fruit, I think. I don't know.
No victory without
Yeah, so basically it stars, what's the guy's name? I don't know. You can find it, but he plays a character named Sam Wickennick?
Witkinny?
I don't know.
Wickinny?
And this is ridiculous.
Witcanal.
So basically, the whole point of the movie, why Bumblebee went to him, is because he had this great grandfather who saw Megatron in the ice. And then, for some magical reason, I don't know why, the location of, what is that called? The Allspark. the location of the Allspark was etched on his grandfather's glasses.
Because Megatron knew the location and they touched Megatron's locator device or something like that, and then it like shut his glasses off.
Yeah.
And then it had the coordinates on his glasses.
Yeah, so for some reason, even though it's clear that Sam thinks his grandfather was a bit of a kook, they've kept all of this stuff in the family, and so he has the glasses, but then his dad doesn't have any problem with him trying to sell the glasses on eBay to buy a car. So he tries to sell the glasses on eBay to buy a car. And then one of the two funny lines in the movie happens where
Bumblebee, do not lubricate on the man.
that's the other one, where basically Bumblebee was peeing on somebody. But in this one that I'm thinking of, basically a Decepticon captures Sam and says, "Are you Loverboy 227?"
I think he was Ladies Man 217.
Are you Ladies Man 217? And Sam's like, that was a mistake. Are you not Ladies Man 217? And then he's like, yes. Yeah, so that's a really so it's also weird because the Decepticons are hacking into all of this like secret intelligence databases, and they don't find the fact that this Allspark is buried with Megatron under this dam. And the government somehow also doesn't find out that fact. So they're trying to find this boy when they know where this thing that they're looking for is.
No, they don't, because the Sector 7 or something does, but...
Then Sector 7 goes looking for Sam.
Why?
Yeah, why? It doesn't make any sense.
There's probably a reason, but we're too stupid to realize.
I think it's just badly written because it's just focused on explosions and it's like military porn. There's so many shots of like America.
What does that mean?
Well, there's just many shots of like American military jets and like soldiers and like raw America. We're great, because
Freedom!
Yeah, because like
Freedom!
Like the Iraq War started, I think, in 2005, and this movie is from 2007. So you can really tell, like, this is like, yes, we need to be patriotic. Our military is doing the best possible thing anywhere, and of course, a lot of the movie also is in Qatar. And I've never been to Qatar, and I'm sure that there is like a desert there, Qatar actually, it's called Qatar. But they're treating it as if it's like in the middle of Africa or something, because there's like desert caravans and, they don't have any technology, although it's a very rich country.
They do. They had telephones.
Yeah, but they're all dressed like, Bedouins, and I don't know if that's offensive. I'm not trying to be offensive, but they're dressed like Arab tribes, and I'm sure people do dress like that, but like basically they're like, oh, they don't have anything, and we're here to liberate them, is I guess the point. It's a really weird movie, full of weird explosions and stuff. He's trying to hypnotize me.
No, I'm not.
I will not look. Is there anything else to say about that trash of a heap of a movie? It's long, it's boring. The action scenes are hard to follow because they're all CGI and not really well choreographed. Yeah, I don't think we have anything else to say about that. About the Transformers movie. I did want to do the thing where we go through one negative review of the movie and one positive review of the movie.
Okay.
And I think generally Jake and I have a pretty negative view of the movie, but we'll see if we agree with this one. This is 1 out of 10 stars. Very bad. Good FX though. Oh dear, really? Oh dear. I mean, I didn't expect very much. I kind of hoped it would be okay, but Jesus, it was bad. Special effects were good. I must not say exceptional, but good and lots of them. However, plot, acting, plausibility, and story, pretty much anything that makes a film worthwhile was non-existent. As I couldn't give a crap about anybody in this comical tale, I didn't even get through the 144 minutes, way too long. I will point out that I am not 3 years old, which of course is the attended audience demographic for this trash, so I guess I am missing the proverbial point. I might be getting old, redundant statement as we all are, but this is not a film, it's a special effects extravaganza. Wow, I can spell that. The ridiculous comic relief scenes when they hide in the garden shows the filmmakers didn't really care much either about any plausibility. Had a couple of drinks as I am writing, so my English might not be the best. Glossy, pretty expensive, and silly, but still crap. And that was from RK-22, September 24th, 2007. Would you agree with that negative review?
I don't know. I think 3-year-olds might be scared of the explosions.
Yeah, I don't think it was made for 3-year-olds. I think it was made for like 16-year-old boys to take their girls on dates with. And the scene in the garden was ridiculous, but it was kind of funny when they were hiding.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we'll change the arrow.
But he was like, the guy that was spelling, he was like, wow, I can spell that. Or some other thing that he put in the...
Yeah, extravaganza.
Yeah, in the, like, navies.
Then what?
Navies.
Oh, quotation marks.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He said maybe it was a quotation mark.
He said, oh...
Okay, now here's 10 out of 10. I'm just going to read the first one because it's short. Pure entertainment. What can I say about this film? First off, when I heard they were making a Transformers film, I thought, uh-oh, another load of rubbish is being made. How wrong was I? Was he wrong, though? Having just watched the Transformers, I gotta say it was a delight to watch. The special effects were awesome. Okay, the story was a bit pants. I like that expression, the story was a bit pants. But hey, I won't go there, because I don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't had yet the chance to watch this film, but go watch it, because it is really worth watching. It's good to know that there are still good films being made. The only other thing is, if a sequel is ever made, let's just hope it doesn't bring Transformers into meltdown. Pure entertainment. I'll most definitely be watching this film again. And that's from Candy Babe 1310, September 21st, 2007. Would you agree with that?
No, I don't think it's pure entertainment. I think it's pure boredom.
Yeah, I just wonder if he was worried about Transformers being rubbish. I wonder what he thinks is actual rubbish, or she. What Candy Babe thinks is rubbish. I'd be curious. She'd be like, yes, I think. I was trying to think of a good movie like the. What's that movie called?
Blues Brothers?
Well, that's what I think is good, but I was thinking like what people generally think is good, like
Spider-Verse.
no older, like with Rosebud, Orson Welles, Citizen Kane. Yeah, maybe she thinks Citizen Kane is rubbish. Maybe you'd think that would be rubbish also.
I don't know what that is.
That's the movie one of the movies people consider to be the best ever made, because of the directing, the acting, and all that stuff. But definitely not the Transformers. Okay. I think we, mainly me, but also you, have talked a lot about this franchise. Oh, maybe one more question before we go, which is, why do you think it's been so popular for 40 years?
Because no, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, I think maybe just kids really like playing with toys that transform into robots and vice versa.
Maybe.
You know.
It's a pretty cool idea, though.
Yeah. Well, okay. This one is gonna be a hard one to edit.
You don't need to edit anything.
Everything was pure,
Yes.
pure greatness,
Yes.
pure greatness, pure joy.
Pure.
So, please check out the Patreon. Please
There's nothing on there.
Not yet. We don't have many listeners yet. So when we get listeners, we'll put something on the Patreon.
But what? Don't
Uh,
I have anything to put there?
we'll think of something. We'll think of something. Don't worry. There'll be something on there.
You have to say the next episode.
Oh, right. The next episode. So support us on the Patreon. Like the podcast. Review the podcast. All of that great stuff. We're on Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon Music,
Isn't
Spotify.
Apple Music and iTunes the same?
I think so, probably. A bunch of other things like Castbox, Podcast Addict, and all that stuff.
They know if they're listening on.
Yeah, I
those
don't know why
things.
people do that, but I just did that. Yeah, so the next episode will be The Owl House, and it's completely different. That's all I can say.
Completely different than Transformers.
Yes.
It is completely different, but it is pretty similar to Gravity Falls. So get ready, folks.
Get ready to
Rumble, 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 grumble.